It's David Flash with Media Sales Pro, and I'm going to show you my process for putting a new competitive lead in your sales database and also reaching out to the prospect at the same time if you gain enough information to do so. It used to be that I would just take a lead like this and I would put it as a note, uh, a copy of their ad, and also tag them as an RSVP client and things like that. So we would have that in our database. But what I didn't do is actually proactively reach out to the prospect right then. That's going to change. And I'll show you the new process that I've been implementing that still basically in the same amount of steps that it was to enter and research the prospect and then put their current ad in with a note about where that ad was. Now there's a sent email with this ad as an attachment. It does the same thing of putting a copy of their ad in the file, but it actually is proactively reaching out to the client. And I've already saved this image to my desktop, but we could always save it again. And you could just save the image to your desktop, screenshot it if that's not working out for you, depending on what you're looking at. And this is actually two pieces. It's a front and back. So, and with an RSVP, if you only wanted to attach one piece, you could attach the back, which normally has the offer and everything else on it, or you could attach both. But I've already checked, and Alliance Painting wasn't in the system. You can add someone. I'm going to click stay. So if I didn't have a name for this gentleman, Ryan, I would have clicked add a company, and it could have been like sales at alliancepaintingdfw.com and all that stuff. We could still enter them as a company. We happen to have his name though. The company is Alliance Painting. And on Facebook is where so I searched Alliance Painting Dallas on Facebook, and I came across their Facebook page, came across their website address, as well as Ryan, who I assume is probably the owner or manager's email address. The one piece of information I didn't get, though, is a good snail mail address. And we could get that on their Contact Us page, or we could Google it. Also, their website and Google and all of these other places have a different phone number than their original RSVP ad. We see the 682-233, and their RSVP ad is going to have an 817 number. I actually think this website number might be a tracking number too. So no, that is their real number, is the 682. So that's the number we'll enter in the system. You don't want to, like, sometimes even something that looks like their website could be a Reach Local website or something like that, a microsite designed to generate leads and designed to track leads. So you want to make sure that when you're contacting, or when a sales team is contacting a prospect off data that you put in, that you're not, in fact, having that whole call listened to, basically. And I copied a few things from there. I'm going to paste this in the background info for now, this address and this phone number. I'm going to cut that phone number, put it where it needs to go. A lot of times I'll copy paste data from like a whole chunk of data, and I'll put it down here in these background notes, and then I'll kind of parse out what I need. And we want to get this record as complete as possible. One of the things, like we said, that the Facebook didn't have, again, that was important, is we need an email address. We also need to choose United States. Always do that on a record. A lot of the apps, like direct mailing apps, because we will reach out to this prospect, also will follow up with them through this machine. It's a follow-up machine, basically, if all the data is there to act on. And what we'll do is we'll integrate this with a postcard company that'll mail postcards, the ones we select, to the prospects we select, as long as it can read the address. And to read the address, it needs us to select United States. So little things like that even matter. You really want to get this data as complete as possible. Not to mention in the future, as we're able to rely on artificial intelligence and integrations more and more, the more complete and the more clean our data is, the more we'll be able to take advantage of that. So those are all the purposes, to get all the data we can. Let's see if in the About Us it says this Josh's last name, or Ryan's last name, I'm sorry. Ryan Anderson. My wife and I own Alliance Painting. That's what I was looking for. So it's Ryan Anderson. And so this tells us this guy obviously cares about running a good business, and he understands his purpose and his why. He'd be a great client to have, as you can see. We get all the data we can. We also want to get his Facebook page, since we're here. We'll put that as a website under Other. If he had like a LinkedIn link or something that was really obvious, we might add that, but we're not going to go looking for that. We will go down here to click Add Another on the website and go Other. And that's where we'll put a link to his Facebook page. So we've got their website, their Facebook page. Click Add This Person. And if we didn't have an email address for Ryan, what we would do is just simply show options, choose file. I don't think you select each one at a time. So we get the front and the back there. Then we would go RSVP. And so that's like, it's an RSVP ad or home mag or whatever the ad's from, if we've got a screenshot or download or whatever. Anyone else you want to see that, you could click and they would get a note with that. And you would just click Add This Note. That's what I used to do with every ad. Now, though, we get the same net effect of doing that by going to, I'm going to back out of this, by going to send an email to Ryan, clicking on Template Competitor Ad. We need to change out the word competitor always. The word's in big, and I have every instance of it there. With RSVP, because this is RSVP, or that would be home mag or whatever. And you notice it says, Dear Ryan, if we didn't have a name, but we did have an email address for the company, we could just say hello. And we would need to change that, though, up at the top before we click send. I noticed you marketing Alliance Painting to high-income homeowners with the attached ad and RSVP. Now we need to actually attach that ad. So that's the front. And that's the back. So as we're adding this ad to our file, we're sending an email to the prospective advertiser at the same time. The neat thing also is when we add a note, sometimes it won't. So this also shows up in the latest activity. Actually, when you add a note, it does, but this shows up in the activity feed as well, just like adding a note. And so you've got a copy of their ad, you've reached out to them, and that's basically the process. The one last thing we need to do for Alliance Painting And we do this on the company, not on the person. So we don't tag Ryan Anderson as a prospect for anything. We tag Alliance Painting, competitor, Home Mag, prospect, Dallas, category, painting. So we can pull up the painters in Dallas, for instance, or the Home Mag competitor clients in Dallas that are our prospects with these tags up here. And when we're talking to the prospect, we get a really quick view of what places they are already advertising. And if we already had a record for them, but you find a new medium that they are advertising in, you can still send out that note, Alliance Painting Home Mag ad, or whatever. Or if you've already sent a note that day and you're running across them a few times, just go on and use the note adding process and add it as a note with Home Mag if you've already, if it's literally the same day that you're running across the same client. But this is a really neat way to, if we haven't touched the prospect and we have data to reach them via email, to add it to send an email instead of just adding a note. And that's our process in HighRise for adding prospects and reaching out to them at the same time.